And black folks don't embrace what folks are trying to do and fend that off, that upsets me, because I am somebody that's trying to set a path for future folks on the come up from my community to be in this position one day.
He's now facing a lawsuit in Miami from his ex, accusing him of battery, kidnapping, false imprisonment, and emotional distress. I mean, this does not look good. And he's had previous with his partner. Hands on women, I just can't agree with. It's just terrible. And it's so bad for boxing when a fighter is being accused of putting. I mean, that's my personal opinion on.
The reported Jake Paul's return could shift to December, with the November 14th Netflix exhibition in jeopardy due to the latest allegations against Gervonta Davis. Sources tell Ring Magazine that December 12th and the 19th are possibilities, right? And here are the potential opponents: Nate Diaz or Francis Ngannou.
Stephen A. Smith has come out firing at Gervonta Davis, claiming the fighter has ruined his own career with reckless choices and constant drama outside the ring. Smith stressed that natural talent means nothing without focus, humility, and respect for boxing. With Davis's future now uncertain, Jake Paul has moved on, setting his sights on a new opponent. Reports suggest Jake is planning to fight someone more suitable a rival closer to his weight, fighting style, and entertainment level, to keep the show alive and the momentum rolling.
Fight Jake Paul.
I hate it. And Jake Paul's starting to piss me off. Mike Tyson is 57 years old, man. Jake Paul been training with professional boxing trainers for years. He takes the sport very seriously.
Thank you. So let me ask you, that's the question I have, because great kid, great businessman, by the way, amazing. And I know how he does all this, the character and the persona. We keep saying that he doesn't want to be a boxer. He's not a boxer, but then
Jake Paul is a boxer.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my point.
Exactly. He's a boxer.
He can fight. I respect it. So go in there against fighters. You should be climbing the ladder towards those other fighters and taking the sport seriously to the point where you're fighting actual boxers. Now he decides to fight a fighter, a real fighter, which is Tyson. But Tyson is 30 years older. Stop this nonsense of going against dudes that either ain't boxing or is 25 years removed from the sport.
Inside Ring. Show released an official update on X confirming that Gervonta Davis will likely be withdrawn from his November 14th Netflix exhibition against Jake Paul, with the event shifting to December as a new opponent is found. According to Ring Magazine's Mike Coppinger, December 12th and 19th are being considered for Paul's next fight. Sources say Andre Ward, Nate Diaz, and Francis Ngannou are among the names being discussed. The news has fueled intense fan debate about who Jake will face next. The Wade podcast analyst explained that Jake Paul's team always prioritizes financial control and image above everything else. They believe the lawsuit against Davis could seriously damage pay-per-view sales, since fans might refuse to support a fighter facing such serious accusations. The analyst added that Jake's camp values reputation as much as money, and this controversy has shaken both. The Netflix partnership was meant to bring mainstream attention
very seriously, and I just thought, okay, this is gonna get a little more interesting than I previously thought. I thought it would be a bit of a mismatch, a bit of a boxing experience to Gervonta Davis, Jake bringing the size and power, and we're gonna get one of these stalemates where no one wants to take a real risk and both guys are gonna get paid. Turns out no guy may get paid, or Gervonta Davis might be kicked off the card because we have a new, not champion, a new domestic violence abuse allegation against Gervonta Davis. There's been a lot of allegations against Tank, and some of those have been dropped, others have not really been pursued, and you don't really know what's what behind the scenes with people, but when things like this happen over and over, I think this is his fourth or maybe fifth allegation of domestic abuse, you kind of start to have to look at the person that's being accused of such and go, why do you keep ending up in these situations? And the way it's described, we've even seen Tank do some of the things already on camera. But let's get into this thing, and then we'll just go right into the report from Chris Mannix here. Shout out Mannix. Obviously, you guys know him as a commentator with DAZN, covers boxing, covers basketball as well for SI. Chris Mannix on Twitter says, Netflix and reps for Jake Paul have been exploring potential replacements for Gervonta Davis. Sources familiar with the situation told SI Now. Paul Davis, scheduled for November 14th, is in limbo after new allegations of domestic violence against Gervonta Davis. I was in the car. I didn't know if this was real, but I had seen a report, and this came out, I think on October, it came out a couple days ago, but it was from October 27th, and there was a civil suit over domestic allegations just 2 weeks ahead of this fight. This is from Andreas Hale, our guy over at ESPN.com. He essentially wrote the article on it and went into details. So let's take a read. Gervonta Tank Davis has once again found himself in legal trouble just 2 weeks before his exhibition fight. And yes, it was going to be an exhibition. I know it was billed as a exhibition with, a winner and loser, but let's be honest about it. Two guys, massively different weights, massively different experience. It was gonna be an exhibition. On November 14th, a new civil lawsuit filed in Miami-Dade County has put the WBA lightweight champion in hot water.
Coppinger, senior insider for Ring Magazine and co-host of Inside Ring Show, confirmed that Jake Paul's return may be delayed to December after the allegations against Gervonta Davis. He stated that December 12th and 19th are the top options, and potential replacements like Ryan Garcia and Terrence Crawford have already been contacted. Carl Froch didn't hold back while discussing the situation. He called the original Davis matchup a circus act, saying it was more about attention than competition. Froch argued that Jake Paul shouldn't have accepted the fight with Gervonta in the first place, claiming it added nothing to his credibility. Now that Davis is dealing with legal issues, Froch believes it's time for Jake to move on and find a real, respectable opponent. He's confident the event can still succeed if the replacement brings sporting value. Froch also warned that boxing's growing obsession with spectacle over substance is dangerous.
Proven guilty, they say, right? Regardless of how many times he's been accused of this type of stuff, allegedly or not, it's still innocent until proven guilty. Now, if I have a contract with you, this doesn't involve you. I understand you got a brand and public relations, all this type of stuff, but technically, this doesn't involve you. So you pulled my $200 Jake Paul contract. What if I'm innocent over here? You know who I'm coming after? I'm coming after you. I want my fucking money, or I want some compensation. But these big companies, they be having stipulations and little clauses in their contracts that give them the ability to cancel contracts for all different types of. I used to have those in our.
Oscar De La Hoya has directly addressed the rumors linking Ryan Garcia to Jake Paul's next fight. He denied any real discussions taking place and made it clear that if talks were happening, he would personally announce them. De La Hoya explained that Ryan Garcia is focused on his own path and won't be jumping into a sudden crossover fight with Jake Paul. His comments shut down the growing speculation, reminding fans that not every online rumor is true. Despite the curiosity, De La Hoya's statement made it clear there's nothing happening between Ryan and Jake's teams for now.
So I wake up to calls from reporters asking me about Jake Paul and Ryan Garcia. Let me just tell you why this fight is not going to happen. Ryan Garcia fights for DAZN, and Jake Paul fights on Netflix. I mean, that's pretty much the bottom line. Golden Boy has a contract with DAZN. Ryan Garcia has a contract with Golden Boy. And that's just the way it is. I mean, this is business. Ryan Garcia's probably going to rant saying, oh, you're keeping me from making money and this and that and fighting. No, you have to go by the law, by the rules. You have a contract with DAZN. You have a contract with Golden Boy. It just doesn't happen that way. So anyway, until next time, we'll see you Saturday for Virgil Ortiz. But again, Ryan Garcia's next fight.
Courtney Roselle's lawsuit against Gervonta Davis paints a disturbing picture. Filed in Miami-Dade County, it accuses him of attacking her at her workplace and includes claims of battery, false imprisonment, and emotional distress. The timing just weeks before his scheduled fight with Jake Paul has raised questions across the boxing community. Some analysts suspect the lawsuit's timing was intentional, possibly aimed at disrupting his biggest event yet. Others defend it, saying victims often delay reporting abuse due to fear or emotional trauma. Commentators have drawn comparisons to past fighters like Mike Tyson, suggesting aggression in the ring can sometimes spill over outside it. Whatever the motive, the case has cast a shadow over what was meant to be one of boxing's biggest streaming events, leaving fans wondering what's next.
Involve the officer. If you're going to involve the laws, given the lawsuit, why not involve the law in general and file actual charges in addition to this? So, again, I'm not her. I don't understand that angle of it, because it's like we want him to be held accountable in front of the public, but there's no criminal charges, which is weird, in a situation like that. At least to me, it seems like you would have criminal charges or some kind of restraining order. Now, I don't know. It's not my case to fight or defend. We have to see what comes. I have mixed feelings about these situations because on one angle, we do see boxers throughout history who have been involved with like temper issues or anger management issues and DV in domestic situations. We've seen that. And I'm talking about all types of fighters, right? Even the great Mike Tyson, I don't believe the story, but again, I don't want to get too distracted on my opinion, but he did prison time for allegedly to a female, right? So on one angle, we've heard that. But then on the other angle, you got people who sue left and right, and sometimes even females, right? Where people are looking to turn a pretty penny. And what happens is sometimes in these celebrity situations, maybe it's true, maybe it's not. I got to see more. It has to go to trial or whatever, see what evidence comes out. Again, this is not really for me to judge. I'm not the judge, the jury. I'm not a cop.